Welcome to this Memorial Day, May 27th, 2024. My name is Brian Turner. I'm the Veteran Service Officer for the town of Stoughton. Today we honor all those who gave their lives and all those who have risked their lives so that our nation might remain free. And we honor, of course, all those who at this very moment are standing watch for freedom and security from our bases across the United States to our mission around the world. I've often been asked, can you say Happy Memorial Day? Yes, you can, especially if it comes from a place of grateful joy for the life we live today that was provided by the sacrifices of generations before us. On Memorial Day, we take time to reflect on the men and women who gave it all for us. Let us remember all our heroes who have left us while fighting for our country. Thank you for the brave men and women who've made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. You may have noticed the banners around town hanging on the poles we've recently placed on the main streets. Some of our fallen have banners displayed in the center, including Paul Zawonka, Simeon Bergeron, Carl Buschenfeld Jr., and Gary Guest. Others will be placed in the near future. The banner program is open to all living or deceased veterans from our community. It's our way of honoring our hometown veterans who have served. We will be gathering at the Great Hall on the 3rd floor of the Town Hall on Flag Day, June 14th, to highlight the program from 10 o'clock to 11:30, which is open to the public. All are welcome. You can also go online and you can see how the process works for getting a banner put up. It's usually sponsored by the families. And now from the Stoughton High School Band, we'll have a selection. For the invocation, please welcome Sharon Johnson, Director of Veteran Services for the town of Stoughton.
Detail, uncover!
Good morning. Gracious God, on this Memorial Day weekend, we remember and give thanks for those who have given their lives in the service of our country. When the need was greatest, they stepped forward and did their duty to defend the freedoms that we enjoy. These honored dead gave the most precious gift they had, life itself. For loved ones and neighbors, for comrades and country, never let us forget those who paid so terrible a price to ensure that freedom would be our legacy. Though their names may fade with the passing of generations, may we never forget what they have done. Oh God, help us to be worthy of their sacrifice. Amen.
Amen. Detail, cover!
I'd like to thank our honored guests and veterans And I'd like to start with the Select Board. I'd like to thank Steve Cavey, Scott Carrara, Joseph McCrisky, Deborah Roberts, and also the Town Manager, Tom Calter, Police Chief Donna McNamara, and the Fire Chief Mike Carroll, and all the firefighters and police officers and veterans that showed up today. I'd also like to recognize State Representative Ted Phillips. I'd like to thank the Stoughton High School Band and the VFW and the American Legion also. And I'd like to present our Select Board Chair, Steve Cavey, to read the proclamation and say a few words.
Thanks so much. Good morning, all. Governor. Proclamation. Whereas, while the nation was still recovering from the Civil War, people in cities and towns across the country gathered to honor the soldiers who had given their lives, celebrating the first Decoration Day. And whereas, after World War I, the nation came together again to honor those who had fallen in the service of their country. Renamed Memorial Day, the last Monday in May is when people remember and honor the memory of all the men and women who fought and died in all American wars and conflicts. And whereas, throughout our country's history, thousands of Massachusetts residents have fought in wars and conflicts to defend our safety and way of life. And whereas their legacy of patriotism and dedication to country is an inspiration to all Americans. And whereas it is appropriate that all Massachusetts residents remember the bravery of those who gave their lives so that their sacrifices serve as a reminder of the cost of our freedom. Now, therefore, I, Maura T. Healy, Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, do hereby proclaim May 27th, 2024, to be Memorial Day, and urge all residents of the Commonwealth to take cognizance of this event and participate fittingly in its observation. Given at the Executive Chamber in Boston, this 27th day of May, in the year 2024, and of the independence of the United States of America, this 247th, by Her Excellency Maura T. Healy, Governor of the Commonwealth, also signed by Kimberly Driscoll, Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth, and William Francis Galvin, Secretary of the Commonwealth. Thank you very much.
I'd like to welcome Senator Walter Timilty, and I'd like to ask him up to say a few words, please.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much. It's truly an honor to be here with each and every one of you, and I thank, first of all, Stoughton veterans. Thank you for putting this on, and of course, our town government, our select board, our fire department, led by Chief Carroll, and Chief Maycomber, our police department, led by Chief McNamara, and of course, our Norfolk County Sheriff's Department, and our Scouts, and our Stoughton High Marching Band. And it's an honor to offer these remarks on behalf of Ted Phillips and Representative Bill Galvin. And I thank you again to our select board, of course, for hosting us here at Town Hall. Today on Memorial Day, we gather to honor the brave service members of the United States Armed Forces who have made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our great nation. We remember, we reflect, and pay tribute to these courageous heroes and heroines who have valiantly given their lives in service so that we may enjoy our freedoms and our liberties. Specifically, I believe that it is imperative to illuminate our heroes and heroines and share some of their stories of sacrifice. Let us remember Navy SEALs Nathan Gage Ingram and Christopher J. Chambers, who in January of this year attempted to board an unflagged ship in the Arabian Sea, carrying Iranian-made weapons to the terrorist Houthi rebels in Yemen. As the Navy SEALs left their boat to board the ship that the U.S. Navy believed, and rightly so, was smuggling contraband and weapons, the waves widened the gap between the two vessels. Chambers plunged into the water, and Ingram, like all Navy SEALs, and in the true spirit of the American service, immediately jumped in order to save his comrade. While the United States Navy successfully seized the weaponry and munitions and apprehended all on board, our courageous Navy SEALs, Ingram and Chambers, were lost at sea tragically. Their sacrifice reminds us of the ever-present dangers inherent in military service, especially so in the global war on terror that our magnificent armed forces have been waging since 9/11. Moreover, let us also remember U.S. Army Private First Class Frederick Coleman Murphy. PFC Murphy served our country as a medic in the United States Army during World War II. A local South Shore resident, PFC Murphy was born in Boston, lived in Quincy, and graduated from Thayer Academy in Braintree. PFC Murphy enlisted for service in Weymouth, serving in the United States Army Medical Detachment, Unit 259th Infantry, 65th Division. As a medic with E Company, 259th Infantry, PFC Murphy landed in France in January of 1945. World War II and the cessation of hostilities would just be 4 months away. 2 months later, the 65th Infantry Division undertook its first major combat assignment to break through the reputedly invincible defenses of the Siegfried Line near Sauerlauten, Germany, which were the Nazis' last fortifications in the western part of Germany, preventing the Allied forces from advancing and vanquishing Hitler's evil regime. PFC Murphy was wounded in the right shoulder soon after his company had jumped off from the line of departure in an early dawn attack on March 18, 1945, at the very Siegfried Line. However, PFC Murphy refused medevac. Moreover, PFC Murphy moved forward, administering first aid to the other wounded in his outfit while under heavy machine gun, mortar, and artillery fire. When the company ran into a thickly sown anti-personnel minefield and began to sustain even more casualties, PFC Murphy forged ahead, disregarding his own wounds and unhesitatingly braving the danger of the exploding anti-personnel mines which were taking his fellow soldiers. Also braving, of course, heavy fire, treating his wounded until he stepped on a mine which severed one of his feet. But this grave injury did not stop PFC Murphy. In spite of his own grievous wounds, Murphy struggled on with his work tending to others, refusing to be evacuated. Murphy crawled from soldier to soldier, administering battlefield medical care while in great pain and bleeding himself profusely. Finally, and tragically, PFC Murphy crawled over a second anti-personnel mine in an effort to reach another fallen soldier. Ultimately, PFC Murphy succumbed to his wounds when that mine detonated right under him. With indomitable courage, unquenchable spirit of self-sacrifice, and supreme devotion to duty, which made it possible for him to continue performing his tasks while barely able to move, PFC Murphy saved many of his fellow soldiers at the sacrifice of his own life. For his bravery in placing others above his own life, the Congressional Medal of Honor was bestowed upon him. There are quite literally millions of these stories of sacrifice. Truly, Representative Galvin, Representative Phillips, and I are humbled and inspired by each and every one of these stories. Each time we learn of these stories and the details of what our bravest service members have endured and sacrificed, in many cases making the ultimate sacrifice, so that we may enjoy the freedoms and liberties in this great nation that we do today. As proud and thankful Americans, we must remember that our freedom is not free. Heroes and heroines, some from our very own families or neighborhoods here in the great town of Stoughton, have made the highest sacrifice and paid the highest price. These heroes and heroines have sacrificed their own lives for the safety of our nation, for the safety of each and every one of us. And to our veterans who are here today, no, this is not Veterans Day, but you have taken an oath, you have stood watch, you have put yourself in harm's way, and in many cases served in combat for all of us. So thank you to each and every one of you. You inspire us. Today, let us honor these heroes by remembering their courage, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment to our nation. May the legacy of our soldiers, Marines, sailors, members of our Air Force, members of our Coast Guard, and members of our National Guard always inspire us. Let us cherish them, and let us always remember they have protected us for generations to come. Thank you all. God bless this great town. God bless our veterans. God bless our Gold Star families, and God bless the women and men of the American Armed Forces, the most magnificent armed forces that the world has ever witnessed, who have made the ultimate sacrifice so that we may live in the greatest nation on earth. Thank you all.
Thank you, Senator. I'd like to invite Selectman Joe McCrisky up to say a few words.
Good morning, all. I'd like to start with asking one quick favor. If you've served our country in the armed services, would you please raise your hand? There's more here because I know them. Put your hands up, please. See, I looked over and they put their hands up. My message is going to become from this date forward consistent whenever I stand here. Many of you have been here when I was joined by my good friend, Joe DeVito, who was a World War II vet, spoke here before, and he pointed out to the young people, members of the high school band, and people your age that are sitting here with their families, to learn about our veterans, to learn about these people that are sitting here who have served our country, the people in uniform that stand with the select board, one decorated beyond what's normal. These are the people that lie within our community. These are the people that wait in line for the ice cream cone with us, or at a traffic intersection, or mowing their lawn when you go by their house. They may be your dad or your mom, or a grandfather. Listen to them. Those of you who know me, some of the older people know I struggle with that, listening at times, at my age. But I've learned it from people like Joe DeVito. Joe DeVito passed this year, February 12th, and I lost a hero. I lost somebody that I learned more from by just knowing what he did in his life, serving our country, the perils that he went through, serving on a PT boat. And for those of you who don't know, being a master craftsman on a PT boat is the guy that fixed the holes on the wooden boats, if that happens. So the dangers are real. And these now retirees come back into their community. They raise their families, they pay taxes, they make a difference in local government. It's changing, folks. Anybody who's been here for some time, the crowds are getting smaller. And it's up to the younger generation, it's you folks, where I stood where you are now at one time in a drum and bugle corps. Learn the stories, learn the people, learn what they stood for, and you will be the most upstanding citizen of any community you go to, because you'll have the values of what isn't free and what is free. We always pay a price one way or another. And these stories of people that the senator just read, and I can conclude with him as well, that those stories are endless. There's one gentleman standing amongst us that I would love to have a couple beers with and hear his real stories, because they're tragic. They're tragic, some of these stories. But you have to learn what it takes to prevail, to fight for our freedoms, to defend our freedoms, and defend people around us for their freedoms. We may not agree with people all the time, but we want to honor their point of view, because that's what our veterans have fought for in every conflict they've been called on or been ready. There are some people that maybe didn't go to a foreign land or be called up for service, and that's great. That's what you wish it could be, but we have those local people that stand up and are ready to put their lives on the line for our safety right here in the town of Stoughton. So please, remember Joe DeVito, because he lives with me every day. And I will make sure that the faces, as long as I'm here, will hear that same message. Make a difference in your community. Make a difference in your personal lives and for your families. Thank you.
I would like to invite Deborah Roberts up.
and I am on the Select Board. On this Memorial Day, we remember the life and service of our veterans. Specifically, one of Stoughton's heroes was Private First Class U.S. Army Earl B. Leathers, who left Stoughton as a young man and never returned after being killed after 1 year of being in service. Private First Class Leathers heard the call of duty after graduating from Stoughton High School as a member of the class of 1941. In December of that same year, the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. America was at war. In November 1942, Leathers, whose dream was to become a pilot, entered the Army and found his way to France in the middle of one of the most dangerous battles of World War II. Serving with Leathers were 331st Infantry Regiment 83rd Division soldiers. Leathers was part of a group that left Carrollton in France on July 4th and moved south 4 miles, right in the middle of a brutal 6-day battle. 3 days in, Leathers was killed and buried in Normandy American Cemetery, along with 9,307 other brave soldiers. He was 22 years old. He didn't make it home. For his service, he was awarded the World War II Victory Medal, Purple Heart, American Campaign Medal, Army President Unit Citation, Army Gold Medal, Conduct Medal, and the European African Middle Eastern Campaign. We are forever grateful to Private First Class Leathers for paying the ultimate price for our freedom. Today and every day, we honor veterans with their service to government, churches, and community. God bless America. God bless Stoughton. Thank you.
Decorating detail.
You just stand there for a second, Mark. Yep.
And now a roll call of our fallen. I'd like to call up decorated Vietnam veteran Mark Hausman, and Tom Hunt and Mike Bodette will be responding to the call.
Reason comes.
Honor God, prepare to honor the dead.
Ready. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Aim. Fire. Order, halt! Detail, hut.
World War I. William J. Buckley.
Absent, sir.
Frederick Larson.
Absent, sir.
Burton L. Mincy.
Absent, sir.
Herbert L. Cornell.
Absent, sir.
Ralph R. Malcolm.
Absent, sir.
Michael P. Nikon.
Absent, sir.
Cornelius E. Corbett.
Absent, sir.
John E. Mara.
Absent, sir.
Michael Romanek.
Absent, sir.
George E. Flynn.
Absent, sir.
Ray Martin.
Absent, sir.
George C. Smith.
Absent, sir.
James Frazier.
Absent, sir.
James F. Maron.
Absent, sir.
Nicholas Spalas.
Absent, sir.
Joseph R. Green.
Absent, sir.
John McGarvey.
Absent, sir.
Lester A. Whitten.
Absent, sir.
Frank W. Kennedy.
Absent, sir.
World War II. Daniel Bento.
Absent, sir.
Keith B. Donahue.
Absent, sir.
Henry V. Lahoven.
Absent, sir.
William Bissett.
Absent, sir.
Thomas E. Eston.
Absent, sir.
Earl P. Leathers.
Absent, sir.
Carl Buschenfeld.
Absent, sir.
Anthony J. Gonzalez.
Absent, sir.
Daniel Mahoney Jr.
Absent, sir.
Francis R. Cabral.
Absent, sir.
Samuel Gregerman.
Absent, sir.
Zygmunt Poshkus.
Absent, sir.
Gerald H. Chapman.
Absent, sir.
Edward J. Gashora.
Absent, sir.
Joseph E. Smith.
Absent, sir.
Herbert J. Chipman.
Absent, sir.
Edgar H. Hallidan.
Absent, sir.
Francis J. Texera.
Absent, sir.
Robert E. Chisholm.
Absent, sir.
John J. Halloran.
Absent, sir.
Herbert Trowbridge.
Absent, sir.
Walter E. Davis.
Absent, sir.
William P. Horan.
Absent, sir.
Sidney B. Valle.
Absent, sir.
Michael F. Dean.
Absent, sir.
Alphonse Cueda.
Absent, sir.
John J. Wafinski.
Absent, sir.
William L. Deedy.
Absent, sir.
Korean War. Philip C. Farnham.
Absent, sir.
John A. Leland.
Absent, sir.
Richard G. King.
Absent, sir.
Christy E. Murphy.
Absent, sir.
Vietnam. Simeon J. A. Bergeron.
Absent, sir.
William Joyce.
Absent, sir.
Kevin Clancy.
Absent, sir.
Paul McEachran.
Absent, sir.
Paul Sawanka.
Absent, sir.
Peter Mears.
Absent, sir.
Gary Guest.
Absent, sir.
Michael Schumann.
Absent, sir.
George Evans.
Absent, sir.
James G. Signet.
Absent, sir.
And I'd just like to take a moment to thank some of the names of other people who have passed in our family. And, you know, we reflagged the graves on Saturday in the different cemeteries in Stoughton as a remembrance that. And if you ride by, you'll see all those flags out that the citizens of the town put out there, including the veterans and kids and families and all that. So it's a very special time.
Thank you.
Our national anthem now will be played by the Stoughton High School Band.
Detail, hut. Present Hums. Order, Hums. Parade, rest.
The parade will now reform and proceed to Faxon Park. Thank you.
Okay.